I gotta be very careful what I say when I say this. It's gonna be a long video. I do appreciate y'all who listen through. I try not to be boring, but this is something that may be bigger than what you think, but it may also be more divisive. It's Coach Simmons, and this is about a letter that was in response to the University of Florida and other state schools in Florida that have eliminated their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. It was also addressed to current and prospective student athletes. Quote, not about politics, the letter read. It's about the protection of our community, progression of our culture. Most of all, it's about your education and your future. The letter was designed by NAACP National Board of Directors Chairman Leon W. Russell and NAACP President and CEO Derek Johnson. And it was signed, sorry, Charlie Baker, the president. Last year, Republican Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill prohibiting the use of state funds for diversity, equity, inclusion programs. The University of Florida responded in March by closing the Office of Chief Diversity Officer, eliminating 13 full-time DEI positions, 15 administrative appointments, and ending the DEI-focused contracts to outside vendors. Other state schools like North Florida and Florida International also shut down the programs. Now, while it's a duty to spread awareness and encourage the action around these egregious, these horrible places, these horrible assaults, we also recognize that the protests can come at a price. The sad reality is that for most black student athletes, collegiate sports may be their sole opportunity to achieve an upper mobility in order to prepare them for a rightful place in society. Get out the hood type stuff, right? Florida great and Pro Football Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith asked minority athletes at his alma mater, be aware and be vocal about the decision. Johnson took it a step further Monday, saying Florida's rampant anti-black policies are a direct threat to the advancement of our young people, their ability to compete in the global economy. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are paramount to ensuring equitable, effective educational outcomes. The value of black and other college athletes bring to large universities is unmatched. If an institution is unable to completely invest in those athletes, it's time to take the talents elsewhere. I'll leave this link down below. This is from the AP. People, I've said this before on this channel. After segregation was over, when they forced integration, I am all for integration. Get that out the way. 100%. God damn it. I am not one of these people who are going to say, hey, we need to go ahead and segregate. It's not me. I'm not one of these people who are going to say, hey, we need to go ahead and be separate but equal. It doesn't work. You can't be separate but equal when you don't have any power to hold any other purse strings. Because the people who are holding the purse strings, quite logically, are going to go ahead and make sure that their people get more of the purse. That's just common sense. Doesn't matter who the hell's holding the purse strings. If your people need money better than the other person, guess who's going to get it? But when I say the greatest transfer of wealth, I want to go back to 2020. It's an article by the Sports Business Journal. And I'll have the link down there below as well. The Power Five, just 65 schools, the Power Five, made a total of $8.3 billion. Reported in 2020, this was 2019's fiscal year. $8.3 billion in a year. COVID year, they made 3.3 billion. I'm sorry, with a B. While we're sitting here celebrating Tennessee State getting $240 something million, they made $8.3 billion in 1 year. Because simple fact is, the top athletes go to the PWIs. Say what you want to say. I mean, I know HBCUs, look, you have your pride. I get it. I'm an HBCU grad myself. I get it. But the thing is, the top athletes go to the PWIs. To get street cred, some top athletes may come to HBCUs just to get street cred. Hey, I'm thinking about it. I possibly might come down there. Follow me on Twitter. I'm thinking about going down there. That's basically what it is. I got you in my top 5. You know, that whole spiel. But we know they're not going to come down to HBCUs. Because for the last 54 years, we've been underfunded. They're only admitting to 30 years. You want to go really back on it, since the inception back in the 1800s. So when they say they want them to leave PWIs, where the hell they want them to go? In 2020, the black athlete made up 46% of the total athletes of the Power 5. 52% outside the Power 5. For all athletes on rosters and on campuses, about 8,000 kids. We go to the football and basketball, you know, the money-making sports. Of course, that number goes up. It goes way up. The 100,000-seat cathedrals that everybody plays in, the jumbotrons, the fireworks, the TV deals, all this, none of this was present until those black athletes showed up. Say what you want to say about the history and yada, 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 yada. Nobody was there in the mass that they were until black athletes showed up. So we got to admit that. In HBCUs, we can be honest as well. We had more talent in the 60s and 70s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Look at the Hall of Famers that came from HBCUs. They were around that time frame. The money didn't come in until, I'll be honest, until white men started advertising black men. Again. So when I say where the hell are we going to go, the HBCU's been underfunded for years. Like I said, Tennessee State, 243, they're not even allowed to spend it the way they want to spend it. Hell, A&T got in trouble for getting more kids than they should have gotten from out of the state. Bringing in outside agitators. Sound familiar? Hell, Alcorn got threatened to be closed down because they found that they owed them $200-something million. So we remember the stories that came up a couple years ago. Actually, it was last year. FAMU didn't have room enough for all the kids that came in. A&T had to stop the website from getting applications because black folks wanted to come back. A&T, Carolina A&T, that is, they didn't have enough rooms for kids coming in, and kids had to stay in hotels. These kids don't have places to go. And I love how NAACP only said athletes. Nothing about the scientists, the doctors, the dentists, the lawyers, the congressmen we're going to need to go change these damn laws. Nope, keep their ass over there at PWIs. We want the athletes. We want the money. That's the kind of thing that drives me freaking crazy. That's the kind of thing that I just don't get behind. If you are going to request that the athletes come back, one, NAACP, how long you been around? Have you changed anything in the last 50 years? Obviously, the the warnings and black folks don't go to Florida and all this stuff is not working. Until we get people in these halls of Congress and people in the halls of the Senate and the governorships, until we get people in power, the warnings, the letters, it ain't gonna mean nothing. People have asked me why have I been doing these little videos about these colleges around Texas. Talk about when the city supports you, when the school is supported. Because every PWI that I look at has one of the same things, even especially the HSIs. One of the same things is the city supports them. They don't have to. They're state schools. I get that. They don't have to run to the state to get their annual stipend, to get their fix. They raise money in the community, and I don't want to hear no more crap about, well, we're in the hood. Texas Southern is literally across the street from University of Houston. UTRGV is down there by the barrio. If we do not fix our mentality of one, what will work, two, how we're going to proceed and progress as a group of people. If we don't change that, none of this shit else matters. It doesn't matter. Because I told you on January 2nd what was happening when Texas changed their rules. I picked up kids crying on the street that their scholarships were being revoked because of the fact that they have a diversity component. When you have kids who are getting in-state tuition in Texas who are illegal immigrants because George W. and Rick Perry and Greg Abbott decided, hey, we gonna value more these quote-unquote illegal immigrants who want to go to college than people who are outside of the state trying to go to college. I pointed that out. The things are things, the quote-unquote NAACP should be at least acknowledging this is not one of the ones that needs to be acknowledged. Because if you were doing your damn job before this happened, if you were doing your damn job before all of this came down, it would not have came down. And now, once again, you want these kids to leave. Oh, I'm sorry. Reconsider PWIs. But you don't have anywhere for their ass to go. Now, there are some kids who are going to lose scholarships because of the diversity, equity situation. They're going to have nowhere else to go. They're going to have nowhere else to get to. This is what I think needs to happen. If you combine all my videos together, combine everything together into one, this is basically the 4 steps, what needs to happen. We need a change in leadership at HBCUs across the board, top down, commissioner down to the janitor. We need a change of the thinking. Long gone is the thinking of, well, we need to ask, or we need to pray. Why is every time a black leader shows up, they want him to sound like Martin Luther King? Anyway, you need to change that mentality into the mentality of we're going to get ours. We like to, and I'm going to use my man Ashley Robinson's saying at Jackson State, build on tradition, blaze new trails. We need to go back in time to tradition. If you want to do the football thing, okay, let's play the football rules. We need to go back in time when the SWAC was made. Find out why the SWAC was made. That mentality is what we need. That Tulsa mentality is what we need. The Rosewood mentality, the Harlem mentality is what we need. We need to go out there and get our own money. We spend so much time arguing over HBCU plus and HBCU go. Okay, screw it. Who gets the better deal? Combine both of them. Get both pots of money. Local and international. We need to find a better mentality before we can ask anybody to come back home. It's like when you try to go find a girlfriend or a boyfriend. First thing you're gonna do is go to the gym, may go to the beauty salon, may get your nails done. Well, we can't go and ask these kids to come back in our pajamas and a skull cap. We need to change mentalities first. Second, we need to make sure we invest in education and retention. I walked through my old college the other day, Houston Tillotson College. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Them damn dorm rooms haven't changed since 1998. Why is that? Amount of money I give you every year, I know it's not a lot, but it's enough to change the damn doorknob. We need to invest in our kids being comfortable, invest in the classrooms. I don't want to hear no more about broke down AC units. We need to invest the money we get into the school, not into the funding for the damn president. I'm talking to you. I'm talking about you, FAMU. 3. That was 2. So 3. We need to make HBCUs great again. HBCUs used to be the end all be all of black college. That's where you wanted to go. It's not where you had to go. It's where you wanted to go. And how do you make that investment? How do you make that cool again? Is it by showing the parties? And no, that's the life. The parties are at any school. The only way you can make HBCUs great again is to show them in a light where anybody can come and anybody can succeed. Show off your alumni. Why don't we see more videos of these schools promoting, oh, I'm a grad of Jackson State. I now work in the Senate. I'm a grad of Grambling. I'm now the governor, blah, blah, blah. Show that. And finally, this is a tough subject. But like I said, on my channel, you combine all my videos down to 4. Finally, if you want the athletes to come back, you got to pay the damn coaches. If you ain't paying the damn coaches to stay, then you may have your black national championship head coach go coach running backs at Duke. When a white assistant head coach can go be an offensive coordinator on the Power 5 level. Yeah, I tread it lightly. If you did stay to the end of this, I appreciate you. And everything will be linked down below. 8.3 billion from the Power Fives, 46% athletes. The greatest transfer of wealth. You trying to get it back? You gotta shell out some money of your own. It's Coach. I'm out.